Hello, it's 2017, January, I've forgotten what date it is. It is not January. February 3rd. I had a very long night. I decided to go out and meet this person who supposedly was interested in talking about fashion and art and stuff, and it turned out it's some weird date that I wasn't planning on being on. And then he tried to stick me with the bill, shoving $40 in my face. So I took off. And then he tried to threaten me with cops and things. It was really stupid. And then he blocks me on Facebook. I really don't understand what's up with these guys. Like, first of all, I have a boyfriend, okay? He's not perfect. Yes, he's been bad in the past. Is he good now? For the most part. He's 11 years younger than me, so I'm kind of a cougar. Just a little. It's not that huge of a deal. And to be honest, if it were the other way around, and I'm speaking on behalf of heterosexual people, unfortunately, if a guy's about that much older than a woman, 11 years, it's not so bad. But because it's the other way around, I get criticized a lot. Sometimes by my friends, especially my older friends, older than me. And listen, I'm really motivated right now, even though I feel down. I've had so much going on in my life. I became a mom very young, and I lost one of my best friends, my son's grandmother, actually. She was like a mother to me. She was a mother to me. She was my mom. I have a mom. Her and I haven't always seen eye to eye, but we're really close now. And I've been just really sad about losing Mama Rosa. And just realizing that I can't pick up the phone and call her. That I can't go to her anymore. She passed away last May. I mean, it's almost been a year, and it feels like it was yesterday. There was a song I sang at a funeral. It was a funeral for a friend. And it says, "Tell me, how does it feel like in heaven? Is it something? Is it as beautiful as they say?" I could not. I sang the song at my friend's funeral, but singing it and thinking about her made it so real. I mean, it was just, it had a different meaning. And I want to do something nice for her. I want to make a video or write a song or write a poem just to let her know how I feel. It's actually, I think, just yesterday, on the 2nd of February, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, it happened last May. I mean, it happened right before, my birthday's May 15th. It happened before I left California for my birthday. And I guess you can say I wasn't really grieving. I wasn't grieving her. Maybe because my maternal grandmother passed away in March. She was someone I was really close to as well. Very close to her as well. But you know what? This might bother some of my family members. I wasn't as close to my grandmother, my biological grandmother, as I was close to Miss Espinosa. And Miss Espinosa is my ex-mother-in-law. She's my ex-husband's mom. But she met me at age 16. I was a very troubled teen. I had so much anxiety, and she changed my life. She made me the mother I am to my son and my daughter today. I mean, my daughter, she was taken from me. A lot of it I attest to. I mean, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but I know a lot of it is my fault. I don't feel guilty any longer. I was still a very young mom, and I wasn't in a very good relationship with her dad. It was just very different. But after all the fighting, I just kind of gave up fighting and, realizing that I'm fighting for the wrong reasons. And really, I was afraid to become that, like, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive person that I had to deal with growing up. And I would never, like I said, I have a great relationship with my mother now, and with my dad. I've always had a pretty stable relationship, but it's, like, really important to focus on your kids. It's important to focus on their emotional, physical growth is important, of course, but emotional, psychological growth is all the more important. And I'm still grieving. Like I said, it's been since May. We're in February now, so that's like 10 months, I think. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. That's 9 months. Almost 10 months. I can't believe it's been that long. Her second granddaughter was born just days after she had passed, or actually, right when she had entered, and they had put her under a coma. Surgical procedure, kind of unexpected. What kind of haunts me now is the fact that a week before her surgery, she said to me, I'm getting surgery. And she just kind of, I didn't understand it then, but it, like, stopped me in my tracks. And I understand that she was saying goodbye to me. And when I spoke to her the day before her surgery, she told me to tell everybody in my family hello, because I was visiting my brother in Pennsylvania, my nieces. And I usually had, like, I can tell when she's worried, and I would always kind of, like, have this urgency to reassure her that everything's fine. And I did immediately, because it was, like, the norm with us. Because she was concerned about my son getting to school in time, because he was with us in Pennsylvania. And, but she was unusually calm. Like, she was just like, okay, like, it was so final, like, in her voice, it was like, so it just caught me off guard. And it caught me off guard. And, I didn't know how to react to it. When my son called me and told me she was in the hospital, I left Pennsylvania and I rushed. I mean, I took the bus from Pennsylvania straight to Virginia to the hospital. And she was in the hospital her last couple hours of life in the hospital where my son was born. And she, we were all there. Her two sons, my ex-husband, her husband, my son, and myself. I think the priest came to pray for her. My mom was on the phone and prayed for her. And she had us all around. Like, I was the first one next to her. Then next to me was her son. My ex-brother-in-law. Across was her other son, my ex-husband, and her husband was kind of on the right side. She had everyone there until we saw her off into her last breath. And my son was destroyed because he's very, very close to her, extremely close. She helped raise him, and he threw himself on her body and tried to shake her and wake her up. It was just incredibly sad, incredibly heartbreaking, and I just couldn't really, I was in disbelief. I was sad, but I was crying because everyone else was sad. It hadn't hit me yet. It wasn't real to me yet. I just saw her laying there like she was sleeping. It wasn't real. And then, I think just because of the emotions and everything, her son, my ex-husband, was rude to me, and he said I needed to leave. And then I walked with my son to the house where he was staying, and he called me, he yelled at me, told me to leave the house, get out of his house, and he was incredibly rude. But again, I think he was just in the moment, you know. To be honest, I don't know if it's even really hit him. But him and I are not talking at the moment. We've had a very hard time since his mom passed away. Since our mom, really, because she was my mom too. And she told me one day that she always wanted a daughter. She considered me her daughter. And I told her that she was my mom too. That she was my mom as well. She saved my life. She helped me so much. And I just can hear her voice in my head, and like I can sometimes sense her, and I try talking to her, telling her how much I love her. This is a grieving video, obviously, and I'm sorry if I make anybody sad, but I needed to talk about it, and I don't have too many people I can talk about these things to. She was a wonderful person. She was like a mom to a lot of people. She's one of those ladies that she's just an angel on earth. And I miss her so much. My daughter's father, because they have two dads. I was married, and then I had a boyfriend shortly after I left, or I separated from my first husband, my ex-husband. And, you know, his birthday was February 2nd. I never forget his birthday, like, regardless of how bad we've been to each other. Like, lately we're like, okay, there's a lot of tension still, but we're at least communicating. I wish him a happy birthday. Ironically, it was like his birthday and just a mixture of all these memories, and it hit me yesterday. Like, I was just finally accepting that she's gone. That I can't call the phone and expect her to answer. And that she's not someone I can talk to anymore with. I mean, I can, but I hope that this video and videos from now on that I post can help people. I want to just help everyone now. I just have a different outlook in life now. I did grieve my grandmother. She's an angel as well, and she always knew how to calm me down, and she was one of my best friends as well. Please appreciate the people in your life, older people as well, because they look after you, and that's all I gotta say for now. Señora, le extraño con todo mi corazón. Yo sé que usted me oye. Y la quiero mucho, la extraño. Adiós.